We're live.
We are here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Thought Live with Rich Smith and Dean Regan. Creatives, we're asking the question today, are you able to celebrate your little wins? Many of us have huge creative visions, just large, and sometimes we don't feel like we've accomplished anything until we've accomplished that big thing. But here's the way it works. Life is full of small wins, and we have to celebrate them. And we'll go into why. Today, on New Thought Tuesdays, we're going to talk about New Thought Live. Sorry, today is Wednesday. New Thought Live, we will talk about the necessity for celebrating and appreciating what we achieve, no matter how big or how small. So, hey, Rich.
And it's also, the other thing too is not only celebrating the little wins, but also appreciating the journey the journey that you're on to be able to get those little wins and to get to the big win. In the movie, The Peaceful Warrior, it's my favorite movie. I totally recommend it. I highly recommend it to anybody that's on a spiritual path that wants to witness a movie that really shows the essence of what it's like to transform your life. And anyways, in the end, the whole thing is about the journey, and I don't want to give any of the plot away, but you definitely got to see it. It's a good movie.
Well, so before we watch The Peaceful Warrior, which I also love, so why do we need to celebrate these little wins? What's up with that? What's the big deal?
For me. When I focus just on the big win getting there, it brings up the lack and limitations in my life. Whereas I just overlook all these little wins, and I just, oh my God, why can't I get this done? Why isn't this happening for me? Please, universe, help me out here.
Right.
And it just puts me in that mode of thinking, which is not good, because the more you think that way, the more you're going to get that. In return, the law of reciprocity. What you put out, you get back, get to keep.
Well, and there's the idea of, as Dr. Holmes talks about, Dr. Ernest Holmes, for those of you who are new here, he talks about cause and effect. And what he says in his book, The Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life, he says, there's a direct law responding to condemnation and a direct law responding to praise and appreciation. It is, of course, the same law used in different ways. There's a law common to all people, which responds to every man's belief in life at that level of that belief.
Yeah.
No man can be happy who lives in a continuous state of condemnation of people, conditions, and things. We have to learn to praise, not to condemn. So what I see him, what I sense that he's talking about has to do with that energy of the universe doesn't care. You want to condemn, you're going to get more of that condemning energy. You're going to have it going out toward other people. You're going to have it toward yourself. You want to appreciate, you're going to have more of that energy. If you continually focus on appreciation, you're going to have more of that energy going out. You're going to have more of that energy going in. It's up to you. You get to make the choice. We got the free will. And so when we're talking about the idea of celebrating small wins, it's really about collecting appreciation. Collecting energy of appreciation and finding every place that you can to appreciate something. And today we had a really heady situation. Rich and I were talking before about what we should talk about. And Rich had a very deep and moving situation with his dog, Chloe, today, and their camping trip a couple of weeks ago. You tell this.
Yeah.
Rich.
So anyways, Dean said, so let's talk about something today. What happened to you that was either good or not so good? And we'll, create a subject out of that. And I had to say, well, not much good, but the good that I did get today was I got to wash my dog. I took her to the laundromat, the doggy mat, to clean her. We went camping 2 weeks ago, and when we go camping, she just rolls around in the dirt. And she's been hanging out around the house, smelling and dirty and staining everything that she sat on. So I finally got to do that. And it was a big win, you know, and it was great because I was able to connect with Chloe. I mean, you know, I'm busy working all the time. I don't really get to play with her much. I got to connect with her. She got to feel good. She feels great when she looks good, all, you know, pretty with the hair all fluffed up. And I know whenever I give her a wash, she feels good about herself. And the same thing is true with us, is that when we celebrate those little goods, when we look at our life and look at the great little things that are happening, we feel good about ourselves. And so that was my win for today.
Well, and it was a big win. It was a little win. It was a win. And so we kind of laughed about it. And I've been doing a happy dance about it. You know, this whole idea of focusing on that, which you appreciate and allowing more of that to come into your life. So,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, we measure our wins and how we measure our wins, and it affects how we see ourselves, right?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And as we were talking about earlier, the infinite intelligence doesn't put the same emphasis on our wins, but it does focus on our energy.
Yeah.
So if you want more wins in your life, celebrate those wins. Celebrate the small wins, the medium-sized wins, the big wins. Celebrate them with authenticity, with integrity, with joy, with excitement, fire in the belly kind of thing. And the universe does appreciate that. It does respond to that. That's completely our belief. So what we want to point out to you today is just to give you the value of that energy of appreciation and how you use it it's just a building block to your ultimate success on every level, because your success is what you perceive it to be, and it keeps changing. So use these little happy dances and create a happy dance if you want to. Put it into your body, put it into your big finger, your little finger. It doesn't matter. Just the more energy you can bring to it, the more it will align your life. So look for the things to appreciate.
Yeah.
Look for the things to appreciate.
Yeah. Also, just write it down. Even at night, we go to bed, we write down our gratitude list, what we're grateful for today that happened. And my wife, she sits in gratitude so much. She'll come home and look at the dog and go, oh my God. And she'll do that happy dance. And you look so cute. Oh my God, let me give you hugs and all of that. And so she would go to bed at night. She has a list of gratitude, like, oh, this happened and that happened, that happened. I'm like, right. They seem like no big deal, but to her, she makes them a big deal. And so you got to make everything a big deal. Marianne Williamson, who teaches the, what's the name of that? The
Course in Miracles.
Course in Miracles. And she said that in the Course in Miracles, it states that there's no measure of miracles that God, divine presence, infinite intelligence doesn't measure any miracles. Everything is a miracle. And the same thing with little wins. Everything is a win to the infinite intelligence. It always has your back. Your good is always knocking on your door. And these little wins are just that good showing up. It's just you allowing the good to come into your life. And so the more, like Dean says, you celebrate and celebrate and celebrate it, the more of these wins are going to come through. But if you push them back, it's like an umbrella in the rain. If you block the rain it'll fall off the umbrella and go to somebody else. And the same too with the wins. You got to celebrate the wins and acknowledge them, and more of them will come. You won't push them away.
Acknowledge them with joy and with confidence and love and deep energy. Just the more energy, the better. But my friend, our time is up. You get to go back to Chloe and celebrate her clean doggy body. And we will see you on Tuesdays, New Thought Tuesdays. Go to newthoughttuesdays.com if you'd like to join us in the conversation. We had another good conversation. I'm really loving our conversations. Rich and I have an opening conversation on New Thought Tuesdays, and then we open up the Zoom room for everyone that's there in the community, and we bring the conversation forward. So, and it's just calm. It's not secular. It's just, we talk about life unfolding and the spirit of life unfolding in
Yeah.
New Thought Tuesdays. So that's newthoughttuesdays.com. Go sign up for our reminders. And when you get our reminder, you will get the private link into the Zoom room.
Great.
Ain't
And so
that true,
it's-
Rich?
Yeah, it's so true. And we do this live broadcast every day.
Yep.
So join us during the week too.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll see you next